I was ready to give up on LinkedIn cold outreach completely. I had sent 1,000 outreach messages. I had invested countless hours. And to get what? 4 responses, none of which converted into a client. That was like an year ago, before I discovered this 6-step outreach formula that completely transformed my agency and how I do cold outreach on LinkedIn. The spark of this whole complete idea, the strategy, came from while I was watching the Alex Hormoz's video about value equation. Today I am going to share exactly the whole workflow, the whole strategy, how I went from LinkedIn zero booking to 15 calls per month with just 2 LinkedIn profiles with 2 different angles of DM sequences. No paid ads, no expensive software, just 2 LinkedIn profile and lots of value oriented content. Just implement 6 simple steps inspired by Alex Hormoz's outreach method that nobody is talking about right now. In fact, this formula works so well if it's implemented right that after implementing it for 2 weeks, I had to hire a VA who can manage the responses, the notification, the comments, and all the things that I was getting in from my both accounts. And if you watch this video till the end, I will share the exact voice note script that I use and as well as the complete DM sequence workflow that I use for my cold outreach DM on the LinkedIn platform. And the best part is this: to execute this strategy, you don't need lot of credibility or lot of connection. You can start with how you have a profile, like a basic and raw, after optimizing it a bit, which talks about what you are doing actually, and have a nice profile photo and a cover image. But here's a small suggestion: if you are doing this for the first time, I would recommend using someone else's profile so you can figure out the limitations that you have on your profile without getting restricted by the LinkedIn algorithms. So it's better to test the strategy with someone else's profile rather than if you are the founder of the agency or you're the founder of your product. So it's better to test the limitations with some other profile, and once you figure out all the restriction and everything, how much you can stretch yourself, then you start using your real profile, and by the time you will have a lot of data that will back you up and will help you make smarter choices with your main profile. Hi, I'm Romy Singh, and today we are breaking down the exact LinkedIn outreach strategy that transformed my agency completely. Before we get started, drop a comment below with your biggest LinkedIn outreach challenge. I'll be picking 5 people to get personalized feedback from me, where I'll be answering your question in detail, in depth, with everything that you want to know, solving every doubt that you have. Let's get one thing straight. This is not about spamming people. This is about a strategic outreach that respects people's boundaries, people's time, while positioning yourself as an obvious solution to their problems. Here are the 6 steps of the LinkedIn outreach strategy. Step 1, finding the right people. Step 2, personalization that stands out. Step 3, offering big fast value. Step 4, the voice note, your secret weapon. Step 5, the follow-up sequence. Step 6, how to scale the complete system. Let's start with step 1, finding the right people. Step 1 is all about finding the right people to reach out to. This is where most people fail because they cast their net too wide. There are 3 main ways to build your prospect list. First, you can scrap contacts using software. This is efficient but requires some investment upfront. Second, you can purchase leads from brokers and databases. Quick, but often they are lower in quality. Or third, you can manually search for them, which is what I recommend. When you are starting out and you have a time, you are not running short on time. So you can do it manually, because the advantage of doing it manually is that your leads would be very high in quality and you can reach out and have a higher close rate. Let me show you exactly how I do this using LinkedIn free search functionality. So now in this, we're gonna go literally in depth with LinkedIn free search, and then we'll go to the sales navigator. So for the LinkedIn free search, let's start with again digital agency. Okay, and then you can literally click here, and then from here you want people, click on people, and then you can decide which level you want to connect. So it's always better to connect on second level because you have a mutual connection, so the chances of someone accepting your connection request grows highly when they know that you have a mutual connection. So it's always suggested that you use second level. And then from here you can click on location, then you can select United States, and then click on show result, and then you can click on all filter. From here you can literally start customizing the search depending on check marks to make this people match your ICPs. So for example, since I'm targeting digital agency, I want them to have an advertising services. Then I can click on advertising. Profile language is irrelevant. Like you can select the service category like digital marketing and social media and marketing consulting, or you can have, and you can add keywords. For example, in titles you can add founder or comma co-founder or whoever you want to target, and then you click on show results. Now this will completely modify the search term. So as you saw, you are getting people which matches that search term. So you can, again, you can play with all of these filters and all of this combination. Like you have to use a logic here to find your ICP using the LinkedIn free search. So there are 5 ways actually you can use the LinkedIn free search to find leads for your agency or for your freelance services. So I will explain each of the search terms or search operators that you can use to scrap LinkedIn using LinkedIn search for completely free. It works great, but you have to come up with the logic of attaching the keywords together. So let's start with the first thing, which is a normal search term. You can simply put anything digital agency and hit search. When you hit search on it, it will just give out directory of people, posts and everything which is somehow related to digital agency. So when you click on the people, you'll find people who somehow have the word digital agencies mentioned in their job description or in their job title or in their profile. So this way you can find it. But if you want to refine it even further, then there are certain LinkedIn search operators that you can use that makes the LinkedIn free search amazing. So the first operator is and. So what does and means? Like if you search for digital agency, and let's say, give me an example, digital agency and ad agency. So what it will do, both of the search term needs to be present here. So as you can see, digital marketing specialist at ad agency. So like now if you want to find this kind of people, like you can use the operator and. Now there's multiple combination with you can use the operator and. For example, like fintech, and then you can put product manager. So like let's say if you put fintech and product manager. Now what it will do, it will give you the people related to this. So like this way you can literally get the people which you want. Like you can define the industry, you can define the job description and the job title, so that way you get better lead. Now the second operator is or operator. So what does or means? Like if you put or between two terms, one of the term needs to be present for that to be considered as a lead. So for example, let's say if I put here or, so what it will mean, like either fintech needs to be there or product manager needs to be there. So any of these two words, if it is there, the LinkedIn will give this leads to me. So first is fintech. As you can see, the person is showing product manager, but he has like somehow nothing to related with fintech. Same way, product manager. For or either of this one term should be present for LinkedIn to consider it as a lead. Now the third one is not. Now I consider not search operator very important because it helps literally filter the leads so that you can literally go to the people to your ICP very targeted. So you can use not in a very creative way, like for example, digital agency, okay, and founder, not managers. The operators always need to be in the caps lock. They need somehow related to be digital agency, and they need to be founder. but they don't need to be manager. So you can just keep adding like comma, and you can add like VP of marketing. So what it will do, it will kind of exclude all of those people. And sorry, VP of marketing. So like it will exclude all of these people from your potential lead. So you can literally define this search term like depending on who is your ICP, who is your ideal client profile. So you can create a search term depending on your ICP using all of the search operators. So we already discussed three search operators: and, or, and not. Always remember this search operator needs to be in caps lock always. Okay, now the last one is like brackets. So the brackets are usually used to group things together, group certain phrases or certain terms together to search. So example would be like in fintech, I want product manager or product lead. So LinkedIn will go through it and it will find people who are working in fintech industry, and they need to be either product manager or product lead. So I'm giving pretty detailed instruction that these are the type of people I'm looking for, the industry, their job description, and you can keep adding on to like adding or statement. So as you can see, I've already gotten like people who are working in fintech, and they either need to be product manager or product lead. Based on that, this is what I got, like people who are like fintech at Nasdaq, fintech investment managers, and they are product manager, senior product manager. So you can see that like I literally got the exact ICP that I wanted. Again, I will repeat the search operator for LinkedIn. First is and, second is or, third is not, and fourth is the brackets. And the fifth and the last one is, you can see I'm already using it, is the quotation mark. So if you add a quotation mark between any phrases, like let's say if you want to search like again digital agency, so if you put anything between two quotation mark, it is considered as an exact phrase. So LinkedIn will use exactly to match the LinkedIn profiles for them to show it to you as a lead. We are done with 5 operators, which are like and, or, not, bracket, and phrases. Now you can use these 5 operators in LinkedIn search to figure out literally who are your ICPs. You can just mix and match these operators and the keywords which probably somehow relates to your ICP, and then if you go to it, you can see there are lots of people. You can just use a tool and export them, or if you don't have an access to a tool, you can literally use any AI automation to export them in a Google Excel sheet and then manually start DMing them for an work. Like you can start the automated DM sequences, or you can manually DM them for to get more work or to promote your services or your product. The key is being ultra specific here with your search parameters. Don't just search for marketing directors. Look for marketing directors at SaaS company or e-commerce businesses where they have 50 to 100 employees who posted link content in last 30 days. Why? Because these are the people who are active on the platform and more likely to respond to your message. If someone is not active on the platform and you are sending them the outreach message, it's pretty much useless and redundant. And here's a pro tip: LinkedIn groups are a gold mine that most people ignore. Join groups related to your industry and you'll get direct access to your ideal prospect who are already interested in your service or in your product or something very similar. Here's how you can find LinkedIn groups related to your service and join them. Finding groups on LinkedIn related to your ideal client profile is very easy, and believe me, a lot of people are ignoring that part, because LinkedIn groups helps you find a lot of related people who can be your potential prospect in a one place, rather than you're going through Sales Navigator or you're using free LinkedIn search to create a prospect list. You can literally have a ready-made list if you are able to find a LinkedIn group which is very well matched with your ICP and your industry. So to find any groups on LinkedIn, you can just search like your industry or your ICP profile. Like for me, digital agencies are mostly a good prospect. So I'll just search digital agency. Then I'll just click on groups. And as you can see, there are lots of groups that I can join. There are 3,200 groups which are related to digital agency. Now, if you want, you can go specific by country. I always target United States, UK, Australia, and Canada. So if I put just UK, UK, then I'll find groups related to UK. As you can see, there's 8K member, and this one has 46K member, this 2K. Now, you can just join this group, be active in it if you want to, like, build the relationship and the connection from the groups. Or if you want to do it, you can literally export this group members into an Excel sheet using AI agent, put it in your cold outreach software, and it will take care of the whole automation for you, like cold DMs and the value first and all of those things. I always recommend doing that when you have kind of climbed the ladder in your business. If you're starting out, it's not good because no one knows you and you don't have much of social proof to actually build the credibility if you do it the completely cold outreach, DM based. Step 2, personalization that stands out. In this video, I will show you how I go through a LinkedIn profile, how I study their profile and understand what they do, and how I draft my first LinkedIn outreach message, which will allow to connect with the person, and then I can start the complete DM sequence trying to convert that prospect into my client. Let's say you're doing this manually. So you are finding people manually and you're sending them a cold outreach DM. And even if you're using an automation software, so this is how the first message should go to, the connection required message should go to. It shouldn't sound like you're trying to immediately pitch. It should be like you did something to them and then you are introducing yourself and you are asking to connect. Like, see, so I'm just like, hi, I greet them. So before sending a cold DM to them, I have my VA to visit the profile of that person, like the last post of the person and comment on it. And after that, I send the DM. So before connection request has been sent, the interaction has already been done. So that person, okay, he sees a few notification of me, like Romy Singh liked my post, Romy Singh visited my profile, Romy Singh commented on my profile, and then he see a connection request of me with a message attached to it, with a note attached to it. That increases the chances of the acceptance of the connection request drastically. So I always recommend you, if you are doing it manually, then try to, before sending the connection request, interact with the person's profile. And same way, you can build an AI agent to do all of this on automation. So as you can see this, I've sent a message like, hi James, I came across your recent post about your insight on viral video hooks. Aligns perfectly with industry trends. Now then, would love to connect. I interacted with his post and I kept it very short. If you go to another one, which is like same, hi Dan, I came across your recent post about your emphasis on starting smart alliance perfectly with strategic business planning. Would love to connect. Like simple. I reduced this, like I cut short it and my response grew. Before, the message that I was sending you was kind of a very lengthy one. Okay, see this one. Hi Madison, I came across a recent post about your insight on hiring trends, highlights the urgent need for companies to invest in new talent, and it really resonated. I have helped 90 plus entrepreneurs fix underperforming funnels and boost profit. So like I introduced a bit about myself also here and this, but it didn't work because some people, as I told you, different people have a different perspective on things. So it might sound it salesy and promotion to them. So kind of remove this part. And then AI is completely doing everything right now. So, and I just have a VA which kind of, looks on top of it with other platform. People will tell you like, okay, you send AI message on it, just ignore it. If you have a stable business, then you can't sit and type this messages down manually like that. It takes a lot of time. But if you're starting out, I would recommend to do it manually first. So this is how your message should be. So this is a template, which again, if you want, I can share it with you. Like, see, hi, first name, saw your recent post and mention on the challenge. Then I work with coaches, consultants, and e-commerce brand to turn underperforming funnels into revenue engines, over 90 clients and counting. Would love to connect and with another growth-focused entrepreneur, Romy. Now, this is a complete message that I used to send. I keep shorting it to increase my response. Now I only send this much, like the first part of it, like this. That's all. I don't see anything else. And because of this, I have sent last 10 days nearly 100 requests, and I have received like 60 plus, I think 63 acceptance, notification. So my connection is growing slowly. So based on this, I will still, kind of iterate on it to increase the response even further. back then. But this is what right now working for me, so this is what I'm sharing with you. Step 2 is where 90% of people fail miserably. Personalization, and I'm not talking about using some cringe automation tool where you can just plug in someone's name and company name. It doesn't work that good, because for example, most of the time you'll find people's name having Mr., Mrs., PhD, doctor and all that thing attached to that. And same with the company name, you'll find private limiteds, LLPs attached to those company names. So if you're drafting a message using those tags or those automation tools and it sounds like this: hey Mr. Romy, I noticed that the work that you do at Funnels and Profit Private Limited Agency is amazing. Now that sounds very automated and it's not gonna get you conversion. It might not even get you the connection request accepted to actually start the whole conversion sequence. So let me be very crystal clear with you. If your personalization can be done with mail merge tag, it's not personalization at all. Like, this is how a personalization message looks like. The reason most outreach fails is that it's all about you, what you want, what your company does, what your ask is. We need to flip that script completely. Here's the framework I use for every single outreach message that I sent. Make it about them, not you. Show you have done the homework. Create a genuine curiosity of what is gonna come ahead, like the free big fast value. The secret sauce here is researching something specific that matters to them very professionally, a recent accomplishment or a company milestone or their latest post about something that they are interested in. Lead with a thoughtful observation about it. For example, write an opinion or a thought about the recent post. Let's say the post is about budgeting. Hey, I noticed that your recent post about budgeting or creating a company budget, how to manage the whole company budget if you are just between 5 to 10 employees. I can literally use that to apply it on my own company or on my own agency, which is just started last year. Now that it's quite a big outreach message, but we can short it up. Like, this is a general idea. So you have to just make something which is personal, where you got a value from that, something that they shared, and you are sharing an opinion. So there's a limit. For premium is 300 characters. For free profile, it's 200 characters. Now, you have to fit this outreach message in that characters limit. So you can short this up. It's very easy, and you can use AI to do that, like ChatGPT and everything. But the point here is this: you need to make it very relevant to them and understand that you really did your homework, and that's what will get the whole outreach sequence going in. If they never decided to connect with you, if they never got curious by reading your connection request message or the note, they will never start receiving the messages that comes after the connection. So the first goal of yours is to get the connection accepted, and to do that, your first message need to be very personal, very related, and to the point. And if your message is to the point and very related, this immediately signals that you are not just another person trying to sell something to them. You are someone who genuinely interested in their work and who have done homework, who wants to know more about them and what they do. So remember, the goal of your first message is never to pitch. It's to start a conversation that's worth continuing. It's to establish the connections, to build the relationship, to plant the seed of the relationship that you're going to build if the person becomes your client. So here's a template of an outreach message that I sent to my potential prospect as a connection request note. You can take this, you can rip it apart, and you can customize it how you see it fit. Step 3, offering big fast value. Step 3 is what Hormoji calls offering big fast value, and it's a game changer. The key is offering something so valuable that people would normally pay for it, but you are giving it away for free with no strings attached. There are many different types of values that you can provide, like lead magnet, reports, frameworks and templates, YouTube videos, webinar recordings, a strategy call, and many others. For instance, I can offer a free 15-minute audit call of their sales funnel or landing pages. It just takes me few minutes to record the video and send it to them, but it provides a lot of value to them. They don't need to hire a funnel expert to go through their funnel and then charge them to actually give the reports. They get it for complete free. Other effective offers could be a free template that solves a specific problem. Here's a note. you need to have experience in solving that problem, or you need to have a skill to solve that problem. If you don't have it, don't create that report or that template. Don't use AI, because people can literally tell you that you have created this without an experience and a knowledge. Because when you have an experience, you can feed more data to the AI to create a very specific report. When you lack experience, your report would be just scratching the surface. So remember that if you don't have skill, if you don't have experience, then don't create the template or the reports. Access to a private masterclass. Now this is what I offer. I have created a 45-minute long masterclass where I'm giving away completely free knowledge about how to figure out conversion killers that killing their conversion rate and fix them without hiring a funnel expert. Now this provides them a huge value. I myself charge $597 just to get on a funnel audit call. And if the person wants me to make the changes which we discover after doing the audit of the funnel, I charge separately for that. So they are getting all that for completely free. A custom report or analysis, a framework or a checklist that they can immediately implement. There are many more things that you can offer as a value. You just need to sit down and think what relates with your skill and experience, or something that you can provide a lot of value into. The psychology here is very powerful. When you give before asking for anything in return, you trigger reciprocity, establishing yourself as an expert and build instant trust. Here's the DM message copy that I use in my own LinkedIn outreach sequence to offer my big fast value. So this is how I kind of send the my big fast value. The sequence automation follows after the connection and everything that we talked about. When the person replies to my automation DM like, yes, I want the freebie, this is how I send it to hello, the name of the person. I greet the person depending on the time of the day, and then here's the link. This word listen, and that greeting keeps on changing based on the person's time zone. And then I send the masterclass link directly. Now here's one tip. If you are trying to build a list, then you can send an opt-in page. Right now my focus is not that here, but if it was my focus to get a lead out of it, I would share an opt-in page here, so that the person would kind of share his detail to get the big fast value. But right now I'm trying to completely connect and grow my LinkedIn profile, so like literally I'm giving it away for completely free. It's a 49-minute complete to the point how to increase the conversion rate of your sales funnel or your offer masterclass, where I literally teach everything that I do for my own client, where I charge $3,000. So I'm giving them completely free. You might think why I'm doing that. There's one problem to it, but there's a very big advantage to it. You might be thinking the problem would be like, if the person knows it, why would he hire me or she hire me? It's this: people who are actually my client, they don't have the time to do it themselves. And people who gonna be the cheapskate and want to do it themselves, I myself don't want to work with them, because they cannot afford the prices that I'm gonna charge them, because I assure them that they will get result out of whatever that I am trying to offer with them. My goal is not the people who gonna execute whatever I'm teaching in my masterclass for free. My goal is to target the people who see the masterclass and understand it and see the impact of it on their business, and they're like, okay, this does really make sense and it can improve my business and increase my profit. I want to do it. So they will reach out to me, and those are my clients. You can just take this message, rip it apart, customize it according to your needs, and then use it in your own sequence. If you read my DM message, you will notice how different this is from the typical, can I have 15 minutes of your time? That approach is, everybody is using that, and it doesn't work. If you read this message carefully, you will notice I'm not asking anything here in return. I'm just trying to give them a lot of value with their own permission. So I'm asking, can I send the value to you? If you want it, just say yes. Reply to yes, I will send them the value, and then my other DM sequences will follow based on the value that I provided. So that is how you offer big, fast value to your LinkedIn prospect. Step 4, the voice note. Step 4 is what I call my secret weapon in this entire LinkedIn outreach strategy. This is where the complete magic happens. This is what separates you from the other, outreach people who are using the generic strategies. Think about it for a moment here. Everyone else is sending a normal DM with text or images or graphics, but you send your personalized voice. It creates an instant connection and cuts through the noise, makes you kind of, separates you from the other people who are doing the same thing. It more feels like having a one-on-one conversation where you're talking to the person and the person can relate with what you're saying and what you're trying to convey, and that gives you a huge advantage in the complete outreach strategy. For example, this is a voice note that I sent to a certain type of leads in my LinkedIn outreach campaign, as you can hear it after this. Hey, Romy here. I sent you a message about sales funnels but wanted to circle back because I just noticed something about your content and offer. You are clearly crushing it with engagement and you have audience. But here's what I'm seeing with most entrepreneurs, coaches and consultants right now. They have tons of engagement and they have a huge audience, but they are struggling to turn that into a consistent revenue. I just helped an entrepreneur generate predictable $17,000 per month in just 6 weeks, and it was all possible with one high converting sales funnel that turns your existing audience into paying customers. I have got 15-minute breakdown of how exactly this works for you and your offer. Free for a quick call this week to show you the blueprint. Just reply yes to this message if you want to see the blueprint. Thank you. Have a great day. And here's the reason why voice notes are so powerful. First and most, they humanize the complete process. When you say someone's name, they immediately think and relate with that message. Like okay, you are talking to them. And it becomes very important. They pay more attention to the message and they understand that you took extra time. You invested time to understand who they are, what they do, where they are from. So you have done your homework. So it makes them put in more effort to listen to what you have to say. And it kind of makes them feel like they're important. And when someone feels like that, they pay more attention to your message. And that is what you want. You want them to feel that, yeah, they are important for you. And actually, they are important for you because you are trying to convert them into a client. And when you take that extra step of adding a voice note at a different key point in your outreach sequence, that increases your response rate drastically. Now let's talk about 3 approaches to scaling voice notes. As you can see in this graphic here. Approach 1, fully personalized voice note. This is recording a unique and a value driven voice note and send it to the prospect who are very highly relevant to you and you want them to be your client. This requires a lot of effort and it needs a lot of your time to be invested into, to understand the client, to do the research, to actually be able to craft a powerful voice note. In only 2 conditions, I will recommend you to do this. Like they are very high value leads and you want at least one of them to be converted into your client. So you need to do the personalized outreach where you do everything manually. Or second, you're just starting out where you have nothing, no capital, no case studies, nothing to back up your, authority and experience. Then one thing you have to trade off, it's your time. So you can do this like pretty much the whole day. You should be investing most of your time actually doing this than at doing anything other than else, because this will bring you client. And if it brings you client, that means you're making money, and when you make money, that means you can hire people, and when you can hire people, that means you can scale your business. So if you're starting out, like start with approach first by default. Approach 2 is semi-personalized voice note. This is like creating a template script but personalizing only the key section. It's my go-to for most outreach campaign because it balances efficiency with effectiveness. But yeah, it does comes with a drawback because it reduces its impact. You cannot do personalization at a very extensive level. It will be a very regular voice note with what you are saying to one person would be this, you'd be the same to the another person. So this is good if you already have, a bit of stability in your business. So you can do this because you want client, but you are not in a situation where you have to run and you need a client to survive. I personally use this approach for most of my campaigns, unless until is something very highly relevant people or a group of people which I really value, that I want them to be my client. Otherwise, this is a very go-to approach for most of my campaigns. Approach 3, AI powered voice note. This is where things get really interesting, because we all know that the AI voice cloning technology is out now, and it's really doing wonders in the industry. For example, you can use AI voice cloning to clone your voice, and it will sound exactly like you. The way you speak, the tonality that you have, the accent that you have, because you'll be providing samples of your speeches to AI to train it so that it will talk like you. There are multiple platforms to achieve this. The most popular one that I personally use is 11 Labs. You can use Canva if you have an account, or if you are using Filmora to edit your videos, it also provides the same feature. Now, this is what I personally do. So I create a template script which is customized using AI agents. So, and then I connect the AI agent with the AI voice cloning agent. Now what it does, it uses my voice, it goes through the script, and it reads the whole template by changing the personalized element in it, and then it sends the voice note to the person. You can achieve this by using any AI automation tools. For example, you can use N8N, or you can use make.com, or even you can use Zapier if you are good with that. All you need to do is connect your outreach platform and 11 Labs together. That's all you just need to do. And most of outreach platforms are actually trying to offer this feature in build. So you can find one which already has in it, and then you can just literally train it in your own outreach platform and use it. Now the third approach is very good because it provides you the ability to scale. But as I said, it's only good when you have money to pour in. If you don't have money to invest in this tool to connect everything, because you need multiple tools to be actually able to achieve this, to scale it. So if you don't have money, this is not the approach you should be taking in the start. If you are starting, as I said in the first approach is good for you. If you have a bit of money, you are not in a situation like you are trying very hard to survive. If you are not in a situation like that, then second math approach is good for you. If you have money and you have 2-3 clients and you have people working for you, that means you can invest money to scale things and achieve results faster. In that case, approach 3 is best for you. Whichever approach you choose, remember these 3 critical elements. First, energy is everything. Sound enthusiastic and smile when recording. People can hear smile in your voice, and it makes a massive difference, as you can see it right now. Keep it under 30 to 50 seconds. Respect their time. The goal is not to tell your life story, it's to spark curiosity, get them interested. Third and last, say their name naturally. Don't try to force it. Mention their name within the first 5 to 10 seconds to grab their attention immediately. For example, as you can hear this voice note, which landed me a $5,000 client. Hello, it's Romy here. Wanted to jump on voice because this is easier to explain than typing it out. So here's what I've noticed after working with more than 100 entrepreneurs, creators, coaches, and consultants over the past few years. Most of them are really good at one thing. Either they are great at generating traffic or they are great at closing, but very few have built a system that connects the two. That's what a sales funnel actually is. It's not some complicated tech thing. It's just a predictable system that takes someone from interested to a paying customer without you having to manually chase everyone down. I just wrapped up a project where we took an entrepreneur from doing about $8,000 to $10,000 per month to a consistent $50,000 per month in just 7 weeks. Same traffic, same offer, same ad budget. We just fixed her conversion path. I've got a 15-minute call where I can show you exactly what that looks like for your specific type of business. I will literally screen share examples and walk you through the exact blueprint. If that sounds interesting, just reply yes and I will send my calendar link over. No pressure either way. Just thought it might be valuable for you. Notice how I sound energetic and calm. You can hear that, okay, I'm happy to connect with him. It gives that all vibe. He can sense everything from that voice itself. So you have to communicate your emotions. You have to communicate that you're excited talking to them. And the biggest takeaway that I can give you, always make the voice note talk about them, not about you. If you keep it focused on them, the results will be amazing. If you go on the other road and talk about yourself, like, hey, we are a great agency, we have built 300 funnels, we have worked with more than 20 niches and 97 clients. See, we are amazing. We can help you to get your funnel live. Now that's very narcissistic. If you go it about this, I noticed that you have an amazing offer, Mark. I visited your sales funnel and it looks absolutely stunning. But I have just this one question and this one odd thing that I noticed in your funnel, that you have placed the social proof at a very wrong place. Is there any specific reason for that? I would love to know that. End of the story. Now, as you can see that I sound very genuine about it, like I'm curious. And I already took the name of the person and I already gave an idea. Yes, I know who you are. I know what you do. I know that you have an offer. Now, it fulfills every checklist about a voice note. Now, if I send this to Mark, his immediate reaction would be, okay, this guy went through my offer, he read my sales copy, he visited my landing page, and he understood my offer. Now, his concern might be genuine. So let's see what he wants to convey. I offer my solution to them, like not a solution, like a value, which will like, oh, boom, like, yeah, this is very valid point. So now after that, I start softly pitching. Can we get on a call where I tell you, like, there are certain more things that I notice in your funnel, which will improve your conversion rate by 2 to 3 times. He would be much more interested on getting a call with me. And if things goes well, we will work together. So that is the power of a very, very personalized, voice note. Step 5, the follow-up sequences. Step 5 is where most of your conversions will happen. Like around 80% of conversions that people who will become your client will happen in your follow-up sequences. And this is where most people drop the ball because they are afraid. They feel that they are, bombarding the other person or the leads, or they're just spamming them. No, you are not. If your solution can help them and if you're getting result, they will not be bothered by it. They will be more happy if you can deliver the result. Like if your offer is promising them, pay me $5,000 and I will get you $15,000 back, would I get angry about it? Or I would be happy about it if you can deliver me that result. So if you can offer real result, then forget about spamming or harassing them. Just do it in a right and meaningful manner. And the truth is this, your first message is often catches people at the wrong time. They are busy or they are distracted or they are occupied or they are simply not in the right mindset to respond. Here's my proven 5 touch point follow-up sequence. As you can see it in this graphic, the first follow-up should be sent after the 3 days of sending your initial message. Here you can remind about the value that you are trying to provide. And the second follow-up should be sent after the 5th day of your initial message. Share your relevant content related to the value that you provided, like your value bomb. The follow-up 3 should be, sent 8 days after your initial message. Here you ask a follow-up thought-provoking question that is somehow related to what you're trying to offer or your value lead magnet. Follow-up 4 should be sent after 12 days of your initial message, which is like moving on message, like, okay, I would not bother you after this, or like something on the similar line. And the last follow up is like sent after 18 days of the initial message, which is like a pattern interrupt, where you can tell them, okay, After this you will not hear back from me, or let's break up and all. There are very creative ways to do that. The moving on message is particularly powerful because it leverages loss aversion. People hate losing opportunities more than they enjoy gaining them. Now, one thing that you should remember, that each follow-up message should provide a new value or new angle. Never just send this like pumping up this in your inbox. Hey, wanted to follow up on my last message. Never send follow-up messages like that. They will just kill the complete lead. Or even if you build the curiosity or the interest, those kind of messages will kill it instantly. So don't send them. This is a complete workflow of the cold outreach TM campaign that I'm running on LinkedIn right now. So this is the first message that goes to the people like after liking and commenting on their recent post. This is the first message that goes, and after that the connection is accepted. Then I wait for 1 day and then I send this request, like, so that it looks kind of genuine, because if the connection is accepted, automatically send the DM, it kind of looks automated and kind of very salesy also. So you can add a 2 hour, 3 hour gap or 1 day gap depending on what works for you. For me, it's 1 day that is working right now. I send this, okay, hey, this is what I do, this is what my big fast value that I'm trying to give it to you. Do you want it? Just say simple yes. This matches had a voice note attached to it. I'm using the not personalized here because I'm doing it on a scale, so it's a generic, but still it has a certain factor to it, like energetic voice. I'm talking about how we are in the same industry and all those things. So it has a voice note attached to this message. Then after I wait for like them to say anything for 2 days, they says yes to it, then they get the big fast value message automatically. If they don't reply for 2 days, then I follow up. Hey, do you want it or not? After that, they say yes, then again they get the big fast value. If they don't reply for 3 days, then I send them like a hey, this is the last message, I will stop bothering you, or something like that. Like let's break up kind of message to them. After that, this flow ends there. If the person has said yes to it, they get the lead magnet or the big fast value. After that, I wait for 2 to 3 days of sending the masterclass, the big fast value. Then I send a follow-up message asking a question about the masterclass, or how did it impacted his business knowledge or something. I make it related to the masterclass as well as his business, so that I get a response back. Now I also attach a voice note here, so that it kind of gives much more impact. Now, if the person after sending this question does not respond, then there's two paths I can take. If the person responds to it, I say, okay, this is the specific problem that he has to it. Then I kind of respond to that specific problem. Like if you are open to for a strategy call, we can hop on 10 to 20-minute call, and I attach a voice note here also. But if the person doesn't respond for 2 days here, then I again send the like totally get it, you are busy and all those things, attaching a voice note to it. Again, I ask for if we can hop on a quick call to discuss the problem that you have and how I can help you to solve it or negate the problem. In this here, if the person has responded to me, okay, let's get on a call, I automatically send them my calendar link. Or if the person doesn't reply to me, I send them the link of the masterclass with this message to it, like let's break up message. So this is a complete workflow of cold DM that is currently running. So if you want, you can literally create something like this. I'm again saying this, you can create this, but after running this flow, you get data, you get the responses, and based on those responses and data, you end up changing things. So it's better that you always set up and look at the data after 2 or 3 days, depending on your schedule, and customize things in your workflow to make it much more effective and much more prompt. Step 6, scaling the system. Step 6 is all about scaling the campaign. Once you know that this campaign is performing really well and producing results, LinkedIn limits you to send 100 to 200 connection requests per week, depending on your account type, your account status. So, how do you grow beyond that? Here are the three scaling strategies I have tested personally. Strategy one, the team approach. Leverage your team members' account and a consistent message and a system. This instantly multiplies your reach while keeping the personal touch intact. Strategy 2, export and external outreach. Use Sales Navigator to export data and connect through other channels like email. This creates an omni-channel presence which allows you to connect with multiple people at the same time and increases conversion rate drastically. Strategy 3, automation tool. There are third-party tools that can help automate part of this processes, but use them very carefully to avoid LinkedIn restriction. I personally have found team approach to work really well while maintaining the quality and avoiding the restrictions put by LinkedIn. Remember, it's always best to send 50 highly personalized message than 500 generic ones, because in those 50 highly personalized messages you have a higher chance of getting clients than the generic 500 messages. So always focus on doing a highly quality driven outreach campaign. Let's do some math here to understand the real impact of this strategy. Let me break down the complete strategy so that you can understand what it actually means to your business with some real numbers. I kind of wanted to share this calculator to kind of tell you the impact that if you consistently do this and figure out the game, like you would not get the response that you are hoping and that you are praying immediately. No one does. It took me 2 months to figure out the messaging that would get me the most amount of connection accepted. So you will have to run a lot of trial. Once you figure out the rules of the game, this is what you can see. This is what will happen. So let's say if you're sending 100 messages per week with a 25% response rate and 20% call conversion rate, the number of responses that you are getting, 20% of them are converted into a call booked with you. From those calls, you are closing 30%. Okay, 30% of the calls you are closing in a month. An average client value is $5,000 for, let's say, change it for $2,000. Like that is an average amount of normal freelancer or a service provider charges to it. Okay, so if you send 100 messages per week and if your response rate is 20%, let's decrease it to 20% to make it like bare minimum. This is like you will get this if you do it 100 messages per week. 20% response rate and your call conversion rate is also 20%. Okay, and then your close rate is 30%. You can decrease it to 25% also to make it bare minimum. Okay, and your average client value is this much. So you are sending 100 messages with 20% response rate and your call conversion rate is 30%. You are getting you're getting 20% of the people who are responding to you booked a call with you. Out of the number of the calls that are getting booked with you, you are converting 25% of those calls, and your average ticket size, like client size, is $2,000. So now, if you look at the math, like your response per week is gonna be 20, calls per week gonna be 4. In a month, it's 4 multiplied by 4 is 8. It's 16 calls in a month. You will have, like, if you convert at 25% rate, or let's decrease the rate to 20% rate, you will have 3 clients per month. Okay, now if your average ticket size was $2,000, you are making an extra of $6,000 per month. An year, it's $72,000. So if you just do this and you figure out the game, this grows a lot. Okay, now if I just increase the by 5%, okay, I keep the response rate the same, I increase the call conversion rate to 25% and I increase the close rate to 25% also. Now see the numbers. The calls per week would be 5 for you. That means 20 calls in a month. You will be able to get 5 new clients per month. That is $10,000 per month to you in a revenue. $120,000 per year of an extra revenue by just doing this. So be consistent, figure out the game of the rule. Now let's, like a very conservative scenario, like if your response rate is 15%, your call rate is 15%, your close rate is 20%, you will make $3,600 per month. Now if you multiply by that into 12, $43,000 just by having a bare minimum conversion rates here. If you become realistic, like you are slowly optimizing your campaign, then you will reach to $8,000. But once you figure out the rules of the game, like this is the minimum that you will make, $12,000 per month, and it becomes much more powerful when you start scaling things up. Like if you invest, like let's say $3,000 from this $12,000 into buying tools that automate you, hiring VA that can manage this, multiply by this in 2, 3, or 4 times. Now that is monthly. Yearly, you can imagine the impact. I will leave it to your imagination. So I will leave the link of this calculator in the description of the video. You can play around with it to, kind of build your motivation when you feel down. I want you to imagine implementing this strategy at a moderate scale, sending just 100 to 120 personalized outreach messages per week. This is absolutely doable with the scaling method we just discussed earlier. At a conservative 20% response rate, which is achievable with this method, that's 20 to 24 responses per week. If you convert just 20% of those responses into call, that's 4 to 5 calls per week. And if you close 25% of those calls over a month, you are looking at 4 to 5 new clients per month. Now, what's your average client value? Let's be conservative here and say $5,000 per client. That's $20,000 to $25,000 in new businesses every month from a system that requires about 5 to 6 hours per week to implement. We are talking $240,000 to $300,000 per year. But wait, it gets better. Most cold outreach methods have a 1 to 3% response rate. We are talking about a system that delivers 5 to 7x better results without spending a dime on ads. As your LinkedIn presence grows and you optimize your approach, your numbers improve. If you increase your response rate to 25% and your call to close rate to 30%, those same 100 weekly messages now generate over $450,000 in annual revenue. 100 messages with 25% response rate is equal to 25 responses per week. 25 responses with 20% call rate is equal to 5 calls per week. 5 calls with 30% close rate is 1.5 clients per week. In a month, we have 4 weeks. So 4 weeks multiplied by 1.5 is equal to 6 clients per month. 6 clients into $5,000, that's $30,000 per month. $30,000 multiplied by 12 months, that's $360,000 per year. And remember, this is not paid traffic that disappears the moment you stop spending money. This is organic growth that compounds over time as your network expands and your reputation builds. I want you to really think about this. What would an extra $20,000 to $30,000 per month mean for your business? What would it mean for your life? All from a system that costs nothing but a few hours of focused work each week. Think about it. So let's start with this LinkedIn Sales Navigator. For LinkedIn Sales Navigator, there are certain limitations. We will not go into detail of those, but has certain limitation when it comes to exporting the leads out of the platform. But it allows you to reach out to your ideal client profile. So you get a certain extra features and filters that allows you to filter the ideal clients really well. Let's start with filtering the leads first, and then we'll go to account filters. Click on the lead filters. As you can see, when you click on the lead filters, you get lots of filters here. Most of them you will not use it. There are certain good filters which you're gonna always use it, but it helps to have these filters because you don't know when you will use it depending on the permutation and combination that you build to find your ideal client prospect here. So first is current company, which is irrelevant for me. Company headcount is relevant for me because I always target people who have 1 to 10 employee and 11 to 15 employee, because this means they are a medium size agencies and a smaller size agencies, because if you go for a bigger size agency, they mostly have someone in-house to do this. Now after that, it does not matter. Company headquarter location doesn't matter. Function, I just leave it ignore. And then here in current job titles, you should put founder, and you can put co-founder, and then you can put owner. On seniority level, you can just leave it. Years in company, you can leave it, but you can use it if you want to work with a certain companies or certain agencies which have been in the market for minimum 1 or 2 years. It kind of tells that okay, they are surviving the cutthroat market competition. So you can literally put years in company. You can put like 3 to 5 years or 1 to 2 years. Let's put 3 to 5 years. Okay, then you start targeting people on country basis. I always target United States, and then United Kingdom, and then Australia, and then Canada. Now after this industry, you can go to industry, but I usually find the industry very hard to really match to my service. So I always end up kind of using the search term here rather than relying on industry. But if you are into certain industries, like you can scroll through it, you can find like if I select advertising, then it will become literally broad. But if I select like technology information, it will become very broad. So I ignore the industry for my search. But if you somehow you find your industry here, you can select. The rest of it you can ignore it completely. Now here, if you want, you can use this two filters, but again I hardly use them. Posted on LinkedIn, this is one of the very good filter which I always like to use it. I never make a prospect list without this filter, because what it does is it makes the people who this leads that they have posted in LinkedIn in last 30 days, so they are a little bit more active on the platform, and you want to reach to active people, because if you send the DM, that person needs to be active on the platform to read the DM. If the person is not active on the platform to read the DM, then it becomes very redundant to actually send the DM. So that is why I always use this filter in every prospect list I create. You can create a persona, by the way. Persona is just you set up the parameters depending on your ideal client profile, and you just select that persona here, and all the leads will match depending on that persona here. Sometimes I use connections when I'm like trying to drill down my list and get better response. But if I want to do the volume, then I don't select it. But if you are trying to right now get more work, then always select second degree connection. The volume of the list will shrink a lot, but the quality of list will increase a lot, because these are the people who have a common connection with you. So the chances of them accepting a connection request from you is tremendously increases. After setting up all the filter, you can go through the list like this. Let's say you founder and job search advisor, owner, founder, owner. If you found something in the list which you don't want it, you can literally remove that. Founder, co-founder. Okay, business mentor. I don't want anything to do with a business mentor. So what I will do, I will go to the search keyword and I say not mentor. Now what it will do, it will exclude the leads which have the mentor word in it. So if we go down, we will not find that mentor. It's no longer there. So you can exclude it, and you can include also. And for example, let's say marketing head. Add the marketing head also. Business owner, founder, job search, founder, fractional, VP of marketing and communications. Just to give an example, but I would like to just stay with the founder. Now, this is how you search on the LinkedIn leads filter. We'll talk about account filter a bit later. In LinkedIn Sales Navigator, we have two types of filter, lead and account filter. Leads are like normally people filters, like your ideal prospect. Account filters is mostly related to company pages and company accounts. You only use account filters if you want to target brands and the people who are working in that specific brand. In this video, I'll show you like how to use the account filter on LinkedIn Sales Navigator, and then how to find the people who are working in those companies using the lead filter also. When you click on account, it will be like this. You will not see the complete filter. You can just click on here, it will broaden up the filter, and then you can start. Like, I like to use annual revenue because it kind of gives an idea if the agency or the company or the brand is making the money or not. So you can select depending on whatever your needs. Like I'll just select 0.5 to 2.5 million and click on add. Now, as you can see, I'm getting a lot of result, and then I'll just put here digital agency. Now you can also select here like company headcount, like so let's add more headcount. Now since the company that, okay, now this should be good enough. Now after, we can click on United States, United Kingdom, we can click on Canada, and then Australia. Okay, now we have around 47,000 leads which are account digital agency related to. You can go on industry also, but as I said, like for me, finding a very related industry kind of gets heavy. If I select IT related or software or design related services, the list gets very broad. Then I'll have to use a lot of filters here and an or combination. So I like to not use it and directly use the keywords here. The other filter that I like to use is called department headcounts. It gives an idea if the agency is hiring new people on a consistent growth. Now, the another thing which I'll use is hiring on LinkedIn. If I click on hiring on LinkedIn, it gives me 960 results. These are the agencies which are kind of looking to hire someone. If it's a digital agency, most probably they are looking for something related to the services that I offer, either landing page design, sales funnel design, or offer customization, conversion rate optimization, or ad graphics or graphic creations. Any of this service I can provide them. So it's a good lead for me. After doing all of this filter, you can click on here, select all, and you can save this company list in a list which later on you can use to find people who are working for this company. So let's say digital agencies hiring on LinkedIn. Then you can put the US, UK, AU, and CA. And then I also like to put date so I remember when it was. Click and save. Now, if we go to leads, then we come here on the account list. Okay. Now, as you can see, I have around 140 people who are somehow related to the, working in digital agencies and things like that. Since the number is small, I would not try to go on founder and co-founder. But if I want, I can literally go on job titles and I can put founder, and then I will only get founders of this agency. So 10 founders, which is still good. I can increase the number by removing the hiring on filters and all of this. So this is how you can use LinkedIn Sales Navigator account filter to create leads which are actually very highly targeted to your prospect. So you can figure out the agencies, or you can create an agency list, or you can create a company list that you want to target. You must have heard about the 100 dream companies or 100 dream client list. You can create those here and you can use that to find people working in those 100 dream companies, and then you can constantly follow up and look for opportunities. So this way you can literally get big client. So as I said, you can use this filters depending on whatever permutation and combination helps you figure out the leads that matches your ideal client persona, and then you can do the complete outreach to them. There you have it, the complete Hormoji inspired LinkedIn outreach strategy that transformed my agency and can do the same for yours. Let's quickly recap. First, find out the right people using targeted searches. Second, personalize your approach beyond just using their name. Third, offer big, fast value that demonstrate your expertise and makes them curious. Fourth, use voice note to stand out in their inbox. Fifth, follow up strategically and persistently. Sixth, scale the system once you have proven it works. Which of these 6 steps do you think will make the biggest difference in your outreach? Let me know in the comments. If you found this video to be valuable, make sure that you hit that like button and subscribe for more actionable marketing strategies. And if you want to take your LinkedIn outreach to the next level, I have created a free resources for you. My complete LinkedIn message template packs with 15 proven scripts. Just click the link in the description below to download it. Until next time, keep connecting strategically.